So good afternoon, Ms. Dr. Foreman. Just a little bit of background since it's been 8 years since we've talked. How did you come about finding Ram Island Ledge?
When it came up for auction, a friend of mine mentioned that it was for auction. We were actually out on a boat, and he said that lighthouse has gone up for auction. That's how I heard about it.
And what drove you to decide to purchase it?
Mostly, it's a historic preservation sort of approach. It's not much of a vacation home. It's hard to use it in that way. So more about preservation. I think people have to participate in getting involved in these things, or else the government will decommission it, turn off the lights, and put no trespassing, and it'll rot into the ocean like so many other things out there do. So I stepped up to try to participate.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And who maintains it currently?
Well, luckily it doesn't need much maintenance. The Coast Guard has deeded access for the light and the foghorn, so to keep it as a functioning aid to navigation. And they go up there every year. I think they're supposed to go once or twice a year, and they go up there and check the light bulbs and the, and the batteries. And otherwise, it just doesn't need much in the way of maintenance. You can argue about whether or not it needs some restoration, but the thing is that it's been standing for more than 100 years and doesn't need that much attention, it looks like, to keep doing the same.
How has your life changed personally and in terms of being a lighthouse owner over the past 8 years?
Oh my. You know, it's been, because I lost my anonymity when the newspapers found out that I was involved in buying it, I've kind of accepted that a lot of people reach out to me and engage me that I wouldn't otherwise have met, and that has proved to be more blessing than curse. I've enjoyed the new relationships and the connections with people and the city, and in ways that I'm surprised how broad they are, even international, but certainly locally. It's remarkable how many people are interested in lighthouses, know the lighthouses, interact with the lighthouses, have thought about them, grew up with them. So, and being part of that is where I've ended up, which has proved to be really fun. Yeah.
Wonderful. And you've touched on this a little bit, but what is your personal stance on lighthouse conservation, both within the state and like nationally and internationally?
Oh, I think most people would say that they're treasures. They are architecturally exceptional. They're historically relevant. They're a visible part of our landscape in ways that I think almost nothing else around here that's man-made does. And so I don't see how we can't work to maintain them. I don't see how that should be an option. In fact, I'm disappointed that there's not more resource put towards that, either from individuals, cities, states, countries, whatever. I think you have to. I think the idea that these are just going to rot and not be preserved is unacceptable. And luckily, it appears I'm not entirely alone at that. But
Yes, I also have strong opinions about it. That's why I'm here. Do you believe locally accessible lighthouses should be open to the public, or should they be observed like from afar?
Oh, I don't see any reason that people shouldn't have access to them. I mean, they're more historic than anything now. I mean, some of them do serve as active aids for navigators, but there's no reason to think that people should be limited from them. I actually, some people say, you know, do you own the lighthouse? I'm like, I don't know that you can own a lighthouse, right? It's there, right? That's why I say I look at it more as preservation than anything else, and I think the part of preserving it is preserving access. And so I think if you're willing to get there to that lighthouse, jump off the boat onto the ledge in the crashing waters of the ocean and climb a ladder, you're welcome to go.
Okay. Do you have a favorite lighthouse in Maine or elsewhere?
Well, of course I do. Of course, the Ram Island Ledge Lighthouse is my favorite. Yeah.
What has been the public response to your ownership, or at least preservation, as you like to call it? Because you've been quite outspoken about how you don't really like to get the media too involved with it and everything.
Yeah, you know, they're quiet in many ways about my involvement. I almost never see that as part of the conversation. I mean, that lighthouse has proven iconic locally. You know, it's ended up in advertisements and magazine covers, and don't think that it's not about me, as it turns out. It's about the lighthouse, and people have made me extraneous to that, which is the way it should be. It's the way I like it. Yeah.
And what about your family's response to it?
Well, I think my wife would share the excitement for preservation, that mindset. I don't know if she would have chosen lighthouse as the thing to put her effort into, but I think she appreciates that there's value in it, and the kids, they don't know what to do with it exactly. I think they like a connection. I think I've given them some unique connection to the water and to Maine and to history, and I think that's fun. But I'm not sure how visceral or emotional it is for them.
How long do you plan to stay in charge of it?
Well, I don't think about it much. I mean, I plan to be around for a while still,
Okay.
and so if somebody comes along that wants to do something with it that's better for the goal of preservation, they're welcome to it. I'm not as attached to it as you might think in that way. But I will participate until I can't, or until somebody comes along and can do better.
You mentioned a little bit about the different opportunities that have come up for you since you've purchased it. But what kind of doors have been opened for you because of this unique experience?
Most of it's relationships. I get odd invitations to go and visit the lighthouse, people that want to visit it with me, people that share pictures with me. I get all of the cool pictures that are taken that you see on Instagram or somewhere.
Yeah.
They all end up in my email box at some point. So that's been fun.
All right. Do you have any other last thoughts?
I think we should just you and I should keep trying to work to preserve these things. Somebody's got to do it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.